Welcome to your weekly intro videos. Just by way of a starter, can you have a go at these two questions? This is sort of last week's work, so just doing a bit of practice. So stop the video and have a go at these two questions here. Okay, hopefully you did that. In a storm, 144 fruit trees were left standing out of 180 fruit trees in an orchard. What is the percentage decrease in the number of trees? So decrease. So again, look at that formula. Old value times the multiplier equals the new value. What do we know? We know the old value. We initially had 180 fruit trees and we ended up with only 144. The multiplier is what we don't know. Okay, so we can say 180x equals 144. That's the algebraic way of writing that equation. Okay, we should know how to solve that equation now. It's simply to divide both sides by 180. So what does x equal? 144 divided by 180. Equals 0.8. Remember, that is not the answer. We always, we could write, hang on, so let me fix that. We can write that as 80%. What we need to say is how far away is that from 100%? So 100% minus 80%. We're 20% away from that 100%. So it must have been a 20% decrease. Okay? Remember that 0.8, which is the same as 80%, does not mean the percentage decrease was 80%. We have to see how far away that 80% is from the original 100%. Okay? Right, let's do the second question. Second question says, a javelin thrower has a best throw of 60 metres. In the next competition, he throws 72 metres. What is the percentage increase of his personal best? So again, old value was 60 times new value, times multiplier, we don't know, is equal to the new value, 72. Okay, so we can say 60x is equal to 72. Divide both sides of the equation by 60. Then we end up with x is equal to 72 divided by 60. I think we'll find is 1.2. Well, as a percentage, that's 120%. Well, how far away is that from 100%? Is 20%, and this time it was an increase. Okay? So this one was a 20% decrease. This one was a 20% increase. Okay? So I hope that all makes sense. Okay. Now, what we're going to do next, we are going to look at interest. Okay? Interest. Now, I wonder whether you guys actually know what interest is. Okay? If you don't, I'm going to explain it to you. Let's imagine you need to buy a car, okay? But you don't have any money. So what could you do? You could go to the bank, and you could say to the bank, okay, I need 2,000 OMR to buy my car, and the bank will probably lend it to you. But unfortunately, they're not going to lend it to you for nothing, okay? They'll say to you, okay, here's 2,000 OMR. You have to pay me back in 1 year. But in 1 year's time, you're going to have to pay me 2,200 reals, not 2,000, okay? That extra little 200 that you've had to pay above and beyond is what we call interest, okay? It's the cost of borrowing money, okay? If you borrow money off somebody, you have to pay for that privilege. Okay, that's called interest. It might work in your favour. For example, if you go to a bank and you put 4,000 reals into the bank, At the end of the year, they'll give you a little bit of extra money. So that maybe you have 4,100 OMR in the bank after 1 year. That little 100 reals that they've given you extra is what we call interest. Okay, and we're going to work out how to calculate what we call simple interest. There's many ways of calculating interest. We're going to do what's called simple interest, and lucky for you, it's the most simple to calculate. Okay, you know, here's an example of a real life one I found on Bank Muscat. They will offer loans to people who want to get married. It costs a lot of money to get married, you know, to pay for the wedding, pay for all your guests to have a nice meal, pay for the dresses, the suits. It costs a lot of money. So Bank Muscat will lend money to you to get married, but they'll charge an interest rate of 5%. And whenever you see 5%, whenever you see that, what they mean, they might write this, PA. That PA stands for per annum. And that means per year. So you have to pay 5% of that 20,000 per year in interest. Okay? And let's be a bit clear about exactly what that means. Okay? So here's a question we're actually going to work in your favour. You're saving money this time, so you're going to earn interest. You're not going to have to pay it, you're going to get it. But the calculation is exactly the same no matter what. So I went to a bank and I put $5,000 in the account. The bank paid me 6% simple interest per year. How much interest would I make in 5 years? Okay. Now, all we need to do here is if we want to work out the simple interest, we're just going to say, what's 6%? What is that as a multiplier? Well, 6% is 0.06. So I'm going to do 5,000 times 0.06. Okay. I'm going to work that out on my calculator. 5,000 times 0.06, and that's equal to 300. So I'm just going to write that down over here. 5,000 times 0.06 is equal to 300. So what that means is that every year I'm going to receive $300. Because that is the rate that they're offering me, 6% of however much I put in to my account, okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to earn that $300 5 times, because I'm saving it for 5 years. Okay, so all I need to do is put that formula into my calculator, that equation rather, into my calculator, to find out that the interest that I've earned is $1,500. Okay, that's how much interest I make. Now let's be very clear. If you put $5,000 into a bank and then after 5 years you only had $1,500, you'd be pretty angry, right? So let's be very clear. This is the amount of interest you earned. It's not the amount of money you have in the account. Because this $5,000, that's not going anywhere. That's still there. This interest is in addition to that $5,000. So how much money would I have in total in 5 years' time? So I'll say T for total is going to be $5,000 plus the interest. So that's going to be $6,500. So you started out with $5,000 and after 5 years, you had $6,500. Okay, so that is your reward for keeping your money with that particular bank. Okay, you've managed to earn an extra $1,500. I hope that makes sense. If it doesn't, you come on the call and ask me. Okay, so here are some questions. What I want you to do for each one of these is tell me how much interest I would earn under this amount, what it says, and also how much money would I have at the end of the period of time. Okay, so you can use a calculator. Okay, so stop the video and have a go. Okay, so hopefully you've done that. Let's just look at the first one. So how much interest would you earn? Well, you're starting off with $10,000 and you would earn 1% interest. 1% is 0.01 and you're earning that for 3 years. Okay, so you're going to put that into your calculator. 10,000 times 0.01 times 3 means you are earning $300 in interest. So that means at the end of the year, your total amount will be 10,000 plus 300, which equals 10,300. Okay? So this is the amount of interest you earned. This is the total amount of money you have in your bank. Let's just look at it for number 2. The interest you earn, I'm just going to do it on my calculator now. The 8,650 times 0.02 times 5. Okay, the interest would be 865. You're going to obviously show you're working out. I'm skipping it just to speed things along. And so the total amount would be $9,515. Okay, that's number 2. Number 3, 5,000 times 0.005. Don't get that wrong. Okay, 0.5% is 0.005. Okay, for 4 years, that gives me interest of 100, and so I get a total amount of 5,100. That's number 3. Number 4 is 10,000 times 1.5% will be 0.015 times the number of years is 6. Calculator tells me the interest would be 900, so the total amount would be 10,900. Okay, last one, number 5. Interest would be equal to 8,000 times 0.03, that's 3%, times 7 years is 1,680. So the total amount you'd have after 7 years is 9,000.